Welcome back. Let's put this in the ether. Why men stop approaching women? Because woman is woman. Pure and simple. Modern day women are not worth approaching. Modern day women are not worth going out with. Modern day women is modern day women. I already said enough about modern day women. They're not the typical woman back 50 years ago. They're not your everyday woman back then. They totally changes. The reason why men don't want to approach women, right? Don't want to approach dating is because women don't have nothing to offer. They have nothing to offer. If they do have something to offer, it's very limited, right? Women don't like to cook, clean. They're all loud. They're obnoxious, right? And when a man get with that, he can find out the hard way that it's totally not worth it. Women perspective totally changes. Women, they usually have a high body count, so turn off a lot of men, right? It's impossible to find a woman with low body count these days, and women have gone very masculine, their tone is very masculine, right? They're so combative, they're so argumentative, and they're so controlling. No matter what race they are, right? They could be Asian, Hispanic, white, black. They're so masculine now, right? They told them that they're independent and they took it way overboard. That's the reason. That's one of the few reasons why men are not approaching women. And not only that, um, going back to what I said, that they don't have nothing to offer. They don't really have nothing to offer to a man. They can't cook. They can't clean. Right? They don't want to have a man's baby. They don't want to be in a serious relationship. Right? They don't want none of that stuff. So what are the benefit of getting into one? What incentivizes men to get into one? Not only that, the reason why men don't want to approach women, right? Or may be in a serious relationship or be boyfriend or girlfriend or get married is because the law is totally set up against them. The law is totally set up against them due to divorce laws, due to marriage laws. Because of that, I mean, men are not incentivizing to get married, right? Because of that, they would rather hook up with another girl. And this is some of the reason why men are not approaching women at all. Not only that, men start to waking up. Men realize that it's better off just to work on themselves, try to better themselves, work on the career, try to start a business, right? They realize that those are more dependable than a woman, right? When you compare your business, even business, right, have a risk of failing, right? It's a better risk. It's a better risk to start a business than being with a woman, because being with a woman, right, if they have a high failure rate, who to say they're gonna have a successful relationship with a woman, right? It's not guaranteed. Who to say the woman's not gonna dump them? Who to say the woman's not gonna divorce them, right? With the career, they always have the career to back up on. They realize that it's better off just to have a career and let the woman chase them than them chasing the woman. They realize it's not worth chasing the woman anymore, right? It's not worth it. Right, because we live in an egalitarian world these days, right? Women can do anything for themselves, right? Women can protect themselves. So, men realize that? Why do women need men anymore when they're equal to men, right? And that totally throw everything off the rail, throw their perspective off, right? And those are some of the reasons why men are not approaching. They realize there's nothing really to gain out of it, all right? Most women out there is very masculine, right? And not only that, they talk like men, they cuss like men, they cuss like sailors, right? They don't respect men at all. Most women out there do not respect men. They belittle men. And not only that, men realize that most women out there are totally delusional. They don't live in the real world. Most women out there are undiagnosed with mental illness, right? They have mental illness, but they're not diagnosed with that. Right? So men realize it's not a raw deal, right? It's not a deal being with a woman, because he don't want to set himself up in a trap. He don't want to set himself up in that failure of being with a woman. Tied down with a woman don't like him, tied down with a woman who's combative and argumentative with him. Like, that's not a raw deal. Guys want peace. When the guy or when a woman, he want peace. He want a woman to take care of him. He want to support something that support him. That's it. Not these days. You see a lot of failed relationship. Why is that? Right? Because women are incapable of bonding with men these days. They're incapable of bonding with men. They're incapable of trying to understand from a men's point of view. Right? And there are those women who understand that, but those are very few women. But the majority of women out there, because they've been indoctrinated by how society, how culture influenced them. They have this inability to bond with a man, this inability to understand a man, because society have taught them that men are nothing, men are scum, men are dirtbag, men are evil, right? What happens when you are indoctrinated with that kind of ideology? You tend to feel this resentment against men, right? And men, they don't. If men approach a girl and he find out that she's the type of girl that resent men, what kind of men want to be with that? It's self sabotaging. Men are more common sense than what people thinks. Men do not want to be in the vulnerable positions, right? This is what leads to men not approaching women anymore, right? And these women out there are crazy these days. They're crazies, right? Guys don't want to deal with that. Yeah, well, like I said, like I mentioned earlier, guys want peace. So how are you supposed to get peace if you're crazy, right? I know there are crazy guys out there, right? But we're talking about men and why they're not approaching women, right? And I mentioned this. We're more career oriented. We're focusing on bettering ourselves. Men understand that women comes and go, right? They don't have nothing special to offer. They want to say sex. Sex is look. This is 2023, right? And we're in 2020s, right? 2023, whatever. We're in modern time, right? Sex is so abundant. Sex is so abundant. Men right now, women, because they're giving themselves so easily, right? Men could get sex anywhere they want, right? They could, if they have money, they could fly out to another country to go to a brothel. They could get an escort, right? If they really want sex that much, right? They could afford it, right? If sex is widely available, what's the point of getting in a relationship with a woman? There's no point. If guys really want sex that much and he really want it, he'll go out there and get it. No matter where it's from, either from an escort service, from a lot lizard, from a people that work on the streets, right? A prostitute. He could go out from there. What if he could get sex like that? What incentivizes him to get in a relationship, right? And these days, women don't want to be in a relationship, right? They have high body counts. They don't want to take care of kids, right? The only reason why men want to be in a relationship is if you want to start a family. Right? So how do you start a family with a woman that don't understand how to take care of her family, take care of herself, know the right decision? When a man approaches a woman and he understands that these are the characteristics of a woman these days, she's not the perfect candidate to start a family with. And men knows that. There's a lot of girls out there. There's a disproportionate amount of girls out there who you cannot have family with these days because due to their history, because they've been most girls out there have been damaged, right? They've been scarred. When you cannot fix that, right? When a woman is psychologically damaged, it's impossible to fix that. Men understand that. Men are starting to understand that, and because of that, it doesn't incentivize guys to get in a long-term relationship. Those girls out there who have high body counts, who have mental illness, those girls are only fit for smashing. That's it. Only fit for fornicating with. They're not a perfect candidate to start a family. That's the only reason why men want to start a relationship is to start a family. Right? I'm not saying there's no girl out there who's not a candidate to get to wifed up. There are women out there, but these days they're very few and little in between. Right? Because of the slim margins. Right? Guys are more likely to be in a failed relationship. They realize they're more likely to be in a failed relationship. This is why they realize it's not worth trying to approach. Guys are just worried about bettering themselves. Right? They understand that you better yourself first and women come second. That's why they're not approaching. Right? So women don't understand that. They need to understand because they live in this delusional fantasy. Right? That they're the prize. They're not the prize. Men are the prizes because men provide the wealth. Men have the resources. Look, resources throughout time, resources are always considered as prizes. What are prizes? Prizes are resources, right? Sex is not prizes. Sex is a abundant thing. You can get sex anywhere. Right? Sex is not what? Sex is not exclusive anymore because women made it too available. Right? If sex was exclusive, then yes, men would get in a relationship for sex. But this day and age, sex is not exclusive. So women cannot use sex as a upper advantage to get in relationships no more. They used to. That's the reason how women get into a relationship by being the gatekeeper of sex. Now these days they're easily giving themselves off through OnlyFans, become a prostitute, be an escort, and all that stuff. What's the point getting in a relationship anymore? If you want sex, what's the point getting in a relationship? You don't. You just go have casual sex with hookups on these dating apps, right? There's no point at all. This is why men stop approaching. This is a few factors that lead to men choosing not to be with a woman, choosing not to take women seriously, right? And when he do take his time seriously, when he do come to a point when he want to be in a relationship with a woman, he's usually at a mature ages and ready to settle down. And the people that he's willing to get with is, and if he's a man of value, right? He usually get with the woman that doesn't have any excess baggage, right? He's not gonna get with a single mother or any of those older women. He's not, because he have options. A man with option will only usually go with the best option, right? So how are you the best option if you're a single mother or an older woman compared to a younger woman? You're always going to pick the better option, which is a younger woman that's fertile, that's not a single woman. I mean, that doesn't have excess baggage, right? But I digress on that. Those are some of the reasons why men choose not to approach women, because there's no benefit of it. Women these days don't have nothing to offer. Those are the reasons why men are not approaching as much as they were back in the days. They decided to work on themselves. Those are a better option than being with a woman, than their dating lifestyle. But on that note, guys, let me know what you think. Am I making sense? Am I conveying my thoughts clearly? Let me know if you agree or disagree. On that note, guys, thanks for liking. Thanks for watching this video. And if you can like the video, share the video. On that note, guys, subscribe, and peace and blessings.